525, welcome back to Ottawa Now. It would not be a day on this program if we didn't welcome epidemiologist Dr. Raywat Deonandan to the show. It's that time of the day. Hello, doctor.
Hello, how are you?
Welcome back. It's like Groundhog Day.
Don't say that.
How many times a week do you think that you come on this show? Pretty much, you're basically part of the Ottawa Now family now.
I'm waiting for my check.
Oh, your check. Well, listen, I just bought a house, so I can't help you. But I want to get your take, speaking of money, on what you think of the city cracking down on people who don't self-isolate, threatening fines of up to $5,000 a day.
Wow, it's pretty severe, right? I guess it has to be done. I guess you have to dangle that knife. That's what it takes to get some people to take this seriously. Now, I hope there's, accommodation for people who genuinely can't self-accommodate or who genuinely don't understand the process or who tried and failed. We have to have some compassion built into the system. But I hope it's meant to target those people who are actively disdainful of the requirement.
Do you think it'll actually make a difference?
I think it'll make a difference for a handful of people, and really that's all it takes, because a handful of people could trigger enormous explosions.
But I don't understand how they're going to differentiate between somebody who has seasonal allergies and then somebody who actually has COVID symptoms. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, there are people who wake up and they've got a hoarse voice and they don't feel well, they're sluggish, they're clammy, and they know that something's coming on, and then they go out into society. And those people, yes, I understand that they are directly violating public health advice. There are other people who struggle with allergies who honestly might not know.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said here for intent and, on your own recognizance and whether or not you are following the spirit of the directive. So I suspect we won't be handing out a lot of these fines. It's just a warning for people to take it seriously, but I'd be really surprised if anyone is actually dinged that amount. But you're right. I think it's probably unenforceable in practice.
All right, let's talk about the plan for the second wave, because Premier Doug Ford came out today and the health minister was alongside him, and they said, we have a 6-pronged plan, 6 different parts of this plan, so many different details that we're not even going to tell you them all today, okay? We're going to span this out over a couple of days. But the first part of it, here's Premier Doug Ford explaining, the first part is that they're pleading with people to go and get their flu shots, and the government is investing $70 million in flu shots.
The first pillar helps our hospitals maintain capacity through the use of the flu shot. The flu shot helps reduce visits to our emergency rooms and doctors' offices during this season, and this will help with keeping capacity in our healthcare system. That's why we're investing $70 million to deliver the largest and most comprehensive flu shot campaign in Canada's history. We've ordered 5.1 million doses for the entire province, and we're working to order even more. Anyone who wants a flu shot can get one. I'll repeat that. Anyone at all who wants a flu shot this year can get one.
So money for flu shots. Get your flu shots, folks. How effective, Dr. Deonandan, is that as a strategy to combat the second wave?
It's going to help a lot. Now, anyone who wants a flu shot has always been able to get one, so that hasn't really changed. It's just that people's desire to get it has not been very strong in the past. I think in Canada we have an uptake of about 40%, and it's critical that we get that up above like 60%, if not 80 or 90%. The reason for that is several reasons. One is we don't want to be flooding the hospitals with flu cases, as does happen every season. When I reserve that capacity for COVID cases, we don't want to confuse the curves. We don't want to be managing 2 curves, a flu curve and a COVID curve simultaneously. And we don't want people co-infecting with COVID and the flu, because that's a special kind of bad experience. And also, the flu could make asymptomatic COVID carriers symptomatic and therefore more likely to spread. So it's going to help enormously. I'm worried that it's going to have a lot of pushback, though. The anti-vaxxers will be up in arms about this.
I'm worried, maybe I'm just nervous about everything over here, but I'm worried, Dr. Deonandan, that this is going to drive up the demand for the flu, a shot, and then you're going to have people standing in line at pharmacies, and then they're swamped, and then they run out of the vaccines, and everyone wants the flu shot, but there's not enough flu shots to go around.
As a public health guy, I think that would be great if everybody wants the flu.
So that's really far, that's really pie in the sky. You don't think that's going to happen?
Anything, I mean, it's 2020. Anything can happen. I mean, aliens could land tomorrow at this point. Nothing will surprise me. But we do anticipate the highest ever demand for the flu shot this year. I was thinking, a 60% demand. But I don't think we'll have lineups around the block or people stealing, the lineup spot from other people to get their kid in front of them. And I think these in previous years, the big flu centers, like the community center has been reserved, has been kind of crowded. We just need more of those. And I know that they're working with physicians to set up mass or drive-through vaccination centers in Ottawa and things like that. So a lot of creativity is going into getting this done. I'm quite excited. This is unprecedented public health territory.
Okay, finally, just in the last minute that I have you, the latest projections from Canada's top doctor. The modeling that came out today, Dr. Theresa Tam said, shows we could see up to 9,000 deaths by the start of October. And to be precise, they gave a range. They believe that between 150,000 to 155,000 cases could be positive by October 2nd. What do you think of those projections?
I think the case count is possible. The death count, I think, is a bit pessimistic. And I don't want to downplay it at all because the death
You think it's a bit high?
It's a bit high, but it will be, the deaths will increase, and it will be, unfortunate and unpleasant, and we should take it seriously. But with these models, we tend to err on the side of the worst case scenario often. I haven't seen the model. I mean, I haven't seen how it's done, so I can't say specifically. I'd be surprised if it's 9,000 additional deaths by October. That would be shocking. But we are anticipating a number of new deaths. I mean, the reason is the number of new cases has exploded. And so deaths are a lagging indicator. So with a 1% IFR, just take 1% of new cases, that's what we expect to die. Now, the reason I think it's pessimistic is the growth in new cases has been largely in the younger population. So the infection fatality rate will be lower in that group. And I think they're using the overall infection fatality rate that includes the elderly to make that projection. So it's slightly pessimistic in my view, but I hope I'm right. I could be wrong.
Dr. Deonandan, listen, I'm sure we'll be chatting again soon. You and I, we're going to be like family by the end of this pandemic. He just laughs it off. He says he's got to go now. Okay, Dr. Raywat Deonandan, thank you for your time. That is Dr. Deonandan, an epidemiologist and science communicator at the University of Ottawa.